welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I uploaded it. I think my last video that was uploaded was actually my January wrap up, and now we're back with the February wrap up. Yeah, I've been in a bit of a life slump this last month, and I've definitely felt like I've been in a bit of a reading slump. I've struggled to concentrate on a book for the majority of the month, which has not been very fun because it's just meant I haven't felt much of a want to read, let alone be able to sit down for a while and read, which is what I'm normally really good at. But also just not being bothered to do anything. I don't know, it's weird. February's a weird month. And I'm currently got a cold, so if I sound funny, that is why. Anyway, this month in February I read 7 books in total. One of them I technically finished on the 1st of March. We're gonna ignore that. We're still counting it as a February book because I think I only had 80 pages left that I finished on the 1st. So yeah, anyway, I read 7 books, 3 of which I read on Kindle, but one of them I now own, and then 4 physical. So the first one I read, we started off the month quite strong actually. I read The Fake Out by Stephanie Archer. This one I rated 4 stars. This one is the one that I read on Kindle, but I actually was given this this month as well. So I didn't buy it. Someone bought me it, so it counts. It doesn't count towards my book buying ban. Okay. Anyway, yeah, this one I absolutely loved. Rory is just stunning. I love Rory so much. He was just funny, he was charming, he was sexy, everything. He was everything. He is the woman, okay? And I loved Hazel as well. Hazel has a really sweet personality where she just I don't know how to explain it. She has this mission for, obviously, because you meet Hazel in the first book, Behind the Net, which I have currently there. Hazel is Pippa's sister who does yoga classes and also is a physiotherapist for the hockey team. So you meet Hazel in the first book, but you really find she just has this mission of wanting anyone who's in her yoga classes to really love themselves and for people to love their bodies, and it's just a really nice mission she has in life. So I really loved Hazel for that. Yeah, my favourite scene was probably the Game of Assassin. I won't lie. It was so good. It really reminded me of Gossip Girl. But I preferred this scene because it didn't have Jenny being really cringe with Nate. You know? Yeah, I found the writing was really easy to get into. It flowed really nicely. The plot and the characters I just absolutely loved. So I love this book. This is smut as well. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 smut. This man knows what he's doing. Okay. Yeah. I would say I'm gonna say it's a 3 chili spice. There was a good amount of smut. There wasn't too much. Yeah. It was a good balance of smut and romance in my opinion. So loved this book. I can't wait for the next one as well. Darcy and Owens. What's his first name? I can't remember what his first name. It begins with a H, but I can't remember. Is it Hayden or something like that? I don't know. They call each other by their surnames, and so I can't remember what his first name is. But I can't wait for their book, which I think is the next one, and it's going to be so good. I can already tell. Okay, next I read Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. This book is so much lighter than the last one. This is the independently published one that's on Amazon. It's so heavy. This one, it's so light in comparison. Anyway, this one I rated 3.5 stars. I would say chili peppers wise, it's got a 2 or 2.5 spice. There's not a whole lot of spice. It was decent, but there wasn't a whole lot. It's just a really short book. It's just over 300 pages. I thought it was really fun and easy to read. I liked the characters. I did feel it was a little bit insta-love / insta-lusty, especially on his side. They're 2 people who have known each other forever. It's a little bit like Chestnut Springs, Powerless, how Jasper was an honorary Eton. Luke is kind of an honorary member of their family. Just because they've obviously known each other all growing up. He's best friends with her brother. So this one's small town, brother's best friend. I forgot to say the fake out, fake dating, kind of hate and love, boy obsessed. It's always been you vibes. I forgot to mention. So yeah, this one, small town, brother's best friend, not a whole lot else to say. One of the aspects of this book, like the whole reason for them getting together, is he helps her to be able to get back on the horse, literally, because she had a really bad fall. And I loved that part of the book because it showed a nice and more caring side to him, and it makes you understand why she fell for him, kind of thing. But I also feel like it was kind of glazed over. It was very like quick. It felt like, I don't know. I feel like I wish we spent more time with them in those moments, so we kind of would feel like it was more realistic and more deep, their connection. I don't know. But I still enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the next books. I figured out who the next two couples are going to be pretty easy. So yeah, I recommend, I enjoyed, now we'll read the rest of the series. Next, I read Delilah Green Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake. This one I rated 4 stars. Chili's, the spice levels, I would say again, I haven't actually written it on here because I've kind of forgotten everything. Because I also have not been keeping up with my reading journal very well at all. I would say again, it's maybe like a 2.5. It was good though, it was decent. This one, it's my first sapphic romance actually, so for those of you who don't know what sapphic means, it means girl on girl, lesbian, gay, however you want to describe it. This one is, again, small town, it's sister's best friend this time, and there was a 1-bed trope as well, which we do appreciate in this household. I started this book absolutely loving Delilah. She is absolutely my kind of woman. I loved her. She is iconic. She is the moment, and we stand. Okay. But I hate Astrid and the Iris. Well, Claire, not so much. I didn't really hate Claire. She just seemed too nice. Which is good because she's the love interest. But Iris, it just was a bitch, and Astrid also just was a bitch, and I just felt really bad for Delilah, and I felt like they're gonna have to really like pull off a massive apology for me to feel like they've been, you know, like redeemed. And I think they were. Iris, I'm still on the fence about. We never really get an apology off Iris or any sort of acknowledgement that Iris really just was a bitch for no reason. Like, Astrid's her stepsister, so it makes sense that they have this miscommunication that's meant they both thought each other hated each other or didn't want to be around each other growing up. But with Iris, there's no excuse. This one is third person, which, to be honest, you don't really notice, if that makes sense, because it's written in such a way where normally I don't like third person because depending on the story, you don't really feel like you're connecting with the characters as much. But I felt like you really did feel connected to Delilah as a character, even though it wasn't third person. But actually, it was written really well. And like I say, you couldn't really notice the third person. I know for a lot of people, third person is a deal breaker, but I would say even if you feel like that, give this one a go, because normally I'm not a huge fan of third person, but I did really enjoy this book. It was written really well. Really enjoyed the story and the characters. So yeah, 4 stars for this one, and I will definitely read the next 2 books in the series, because that's, I don't know if it's Astrid next or Iris next, but in this, Iris has a boyfriend, so I'm interested to see what's happening there. So yeah. Next, I read Love from the Woods by Christina Lauren, and I have so many feelings about this book, some good, some bad. I read most of this in one day, and I want to rate it both 2 stars and 5 stars, and I have not decided, so I've written both. I read Every Summer After by Carly Fortune last year, and I did enjoy the book. I can't remember what I rated actually, let's have a look. Okay, I rated Every Summer After 4 stars. I did really enjoy the book. This book came out first, and I read Every Summer After knowing it was almost kind of a carbon copy of this book, and that I probably should have read this one first. The thing is, this is what happens in Every Summer After, everyone hates, and for the most part, it is a trope I don't like, don't get me wrong, but what happens in that book, it's written in a way where you kind of expect it. And because everyone goes on about how much they don't like that book but they love this book, I didn't think anything along that line happened. So imagine my surprise when it did. obviously I'm trying to talk in roundabout ways for no spoilers for people who don't know, but I feel like most people have read this book, so you do know. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick spoiler section. So if you don't want to hear spoilers, skip to this part in the video, okay? So this will be spoilers for both Every Summer After and Love in Other Words. Every Summer After, it's in her point of view, and she's the one that fucked up. She's the one who cheated, right? And because it's in her point of view, you know she's the one that's done something wrong, and she's done something unforgivable. So you kind of have that, like, in the background where it's like a possibility. Your brain subconsciously is like, she's done something really bad. So you're prepared for it, right? And again, I went into this thinking that didn't happen at all, because everyone goes on about how much they love this book, and everyone hates the cheating trope. The whole time she's going on about Elliot as if he hung the moon, as if he is the most amazing stand-up man, as if he has never done anything wrong in his whole entire life. She absolutely, like, the way she goes on about him, the way, like, he's portrayed is as if he's this amazing man. And so I read this book and I was thoroughly enjoying it. I absolutely loved it. And then when I finished it, I was like, I couldn't believe it, because it's all glossed over at the end. It's like suddenly, and it's the fact that in her mind, she walks in on her boyfriend having cheated on her. He is literally dick out, woman lying on top of him, passed out, right? And then she loses her dad the next day. If that was me, I would have been like, okay, my boyfriend's cheated on me, and because of that, I'm so traumatized that my dad has now not paid attention to the road, and now my dad's dead because of a drunk driver. And I would not be able to look at Elliot in the eyes again, never mind have any sort of semblance of positive feelings towards him. And I'm going to say it because I've since looked at other people's reviews and I've looked at it in a different light since then. But this is what I'm saying. From her point of view at this moment in time, she thinks, I've been cheated on and my dad's dead and it's his fault. Everything's his fault. But she somehow still loves him and can bear to look at him again and still pines after him. And I just think that's so unrealistic. Now, a lot of people think, like, I've seen a lot of people's reviews and they say, well, clearly Elliot's been sexually assaulted. And I agree with that. When I say I agree with that, it's glazed over so much that I can't even say yes he cheated or yes he was assaulted, because there's not enough detail in the book. All we get is that he says he thought it was his girlfriend, and that he didn't know it was his other girl. And I understand, like, so he's so out of it that he could not consent. So I completely agree that there is that level. It was definitely a sexual assault. But it's completely glazed over. And again, she wouldn't know that. And they don't have that time. I feel like how it should have been is they should have had the conversation where they realised, okay, he now finds out the dad's dead, okay. And she finds out, oh wait, he was assaulted. And there should have been time in between where they come to terms with both things, because both things are very heartbreaking things to happen. And instead, it's just they tell each other what happened, and then it's just, okay, now we're together and we're moving in together. And that's the end of the book. And I just, no. I hate it. Like, so the ending I absolutely hate it. I just think it was done so poorly. The rest of the book, the whole lead up, was absolutely amazing. I love the book. One part I highlighted where it was like a letter from her mum. I've like highlighted, and it's my favourite quote of the whole book. And it's the end of part of her letter where she says, treat your body carefully, take care of it, don't let anyone abuse it, and don't abuse it yourself. Every inch of your skin I made diligently. Months I slaved over you, you're my masterpiece. I cried. And luckily it was a Sunday. I was going to my mum's house for Sunday dinner and I had to give my mum a massive hug as soon as I got there after reading that. This book, for the first 300 pages, was amazing. And then the ending, I just think, was rushed. Everything just came out of nowhere. There was no hints to anything that had happened. So it was, I just think the ending was done poorly, and it really ruined the book for me. I feel like for what's happened in her point and her point of view of stuff, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up, and I hate it. So it is both a 2 stars and a 5 stars. The first 300 pages was 5 stars. The ending is a 2 star. And yeah. I know a lot of people probably disagree with me. It's so many people's favourite books, so that's why I just can't understand. It's just, the ending was so rushed. Everything was so glazed over. So it just sits funny with me, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I both loved and hated the book. So I saw one review. I'm gonna have to try and find it quickly. Yeah, someone rated this 2 stars on Goodreads and said, "Can the other words please be an apology to me?" Which I did think was funny. Next, I read Archer's Voice. This one I rated 3.5 stars, and I've given it a spice rating of about 2 chili peppers. It's probably more of a 2.5. I don't know. It has got spice. It's not super detailed. I would say it's a 2, maybe a 2.5. I've given it a 2. It's in there, but it's nowhere near detailed as The Fake Out. Or even, I think Delilah Green Doesn't Care and Done and Dusted had probably like more detailed spice. Or maybe it's kind of on par. I don't know. Yeah. There's a few booktubers who I know love this book. And I do understand. I loved Archer. I think there was not a sweeter MMC to exist. However, the writing really pulled this down for me. I liked the characters. I loved the story. Do not get me wrong. The writing, though, it enough of it was good that it kept me reading, but there was also a lot of it where it felt very Wattpad-y. And by that I mean there's 2 types of way to describe something as Wattpad-y. It includes every trope in the world and it's so unrealistic and cringe Wattpad-y. Or there's the writing as Wattpad-y, which just means it feels young. It feels like a teenager wrote it. Yeah, that's basic. It's the latter. It feels like someone quite young. Like it feels like a teenager wrote it at some points, which isn't a bad thing. It's just it wasn't, because some of it was good and some of it was like that. It didn't flow very well. So that kind of brought the rating down for me a bit. But the story and the characters kept me interested enough that I could see past it. But that's why I got like a 3.5 stars rather than anything higher. And it was a little bit repetitive sometimes, but yeah, but I did enjoy, so yay. Next, I read The Sweetest Oblivion on Kindle. This one I rated 3 stars, and to be honest, spice-wise, I haven't a clue what to rate it, because for it being a dark romance, The Fake Out had more spice, like a lot more spice, and the book I read after this also had a lot more spice. So apparently, which also was a hockey romance, apparently hockey romance is more spicy than dark romance sometimes. Yeah, I've yet to actually do my review for this one or the next book, so I'm just kind of flying off from the seat of my pants right now, and also I've got low batteries, so let's just get this moving. Yeah, The Sweetest Oblivion, I rated it 3 stars. It was all right. I enjoyed reading it, but I would not say it was for a dark romance. It that dark. Like, yeah, this dude killed a couple people, but it really wasn't that dark. I don't know. And it really wasn't that spicy. Like, I would maybe give it a 2 on the spice scale. Like, what spice was there was fairly detailed, but there was barely any of it. I don't think we really even had a kiss until like 70% through the book. It was so, I don't know. I like I say, I enjoyed it. I probably will read the next books. Hopefully they're a bit more dark, a bit more spicy. The writing was good though. I enjoyed it. It flowed nicely, easy to get into. I feel like that's always what I say. It either flows nicely, it's easy to get into, or it's Wattpad-y. There's my 2 options apparently. Yeah, I enjoyed it, but it wasn't anything spectacular. It didn't knock me socks off. So I'll read the next books eventually, but yeah. And then the final book I read, which I did finish, like I say, on the 1st of the month, but I'm counting it as a February book. I read Consider Me by Becca Mack. This book I rated 3.75 stars. Okay, there was some parts of this book where I was loving it. I was really enjoying myself. And yeah, I did enjoy the book. It was really fun. The thing that happens at the wedding though really brought it down for me. I think the thing is, at first he felt like pushy almost. I was like, dude, get a hint, like you're too much right now. Pull it back. Like, it's getting creepy, it's getting cringy. And then he just turned charming out of nowhere. So I did love his character. He did end up being very charming. But what happened at the wedding, while there was consent for it to happen, I just hated it. I don't want to spoil it, but anyone who has read it will know what I mean. Like I say, the person whose wedding it was said it was okay, but I hate when people do that in real life or in fiction. I just think it's cringe. I don't like it, and I would hate for it to happen to me on either side. So that really brought the rating down. I won't lie. There were just a few things that happened where I was like, oh, and it brought the rating down. But I really enjoyed it, and I have bought the physical copies, and I will be reading the next books. Because, oh my god, the new covers, have you seen them? I'll just put them here. They're gorgeous. And the one that comes out later this year, which is like purple, beautiful. So I had like a £40 voucher on Waterstone, so I've bought the first 3. So I will be, once they get here, finishing the series pretty much straight away. So yeah, spice, again, like I say, it was so much spicier than The Sweets of Oblivion. I would say spice was like a 3.5. There was a lot of it. It was well detailed. It was a 10 out of 10, the spice. Very much enjoyed it. I still think the Fake Out had better spice. I preferred that slightly. Okay, the camera died, so I'm just going to continue this as a voice for the end of the book, the end of the video, I mean. Yeah, I really enjoyed. I would highly recommend, and I will be finishing the series. So yeah, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!